Hello viewers, hope you all are fine. So my dear students, I Dr. Sudha welcome you all to a new video, and this video will be based on your unit 4 of AECC1 Environment Study and Disaster Management, and as you all know that it is one compulsory paper for all plus 3 first semester BA, B.Sc, B.Com students. Okay, so today it will be our 10th number of class of unit 4. So you know that there are total 4 units in your AECC1 Environment Study and Disaster Management. So today we will discuss about the immunity and particularly about innate versus acquired immunity and about herd immunity. Okay, so you have heard these words during COVID pandemic period about what is herd immunity, what is innate versus acquired immunity. So today our video will be focused on these aspects only. Okay. So before going to the discussion, I would like to request you, those who have not subscribed my channel yet, so please subscribe the channel, because I have done a little aspect or little thing to reach you through my YouTube channel, that is Environ World for Students by Dr. Sudha, in which I have discussed bit by bit of your AECC1 syllabus. Okay, so whatever there in your syllabus, I have discussed every content of all the units. Okay, so 3 units are already discussed, and now we are discussing unit 4, and also I have made video for English medium students and ODIA medium students separately. So please subscribe the channel and share among your students so that you can get my latest video at earliest. Okay. So without any further delay, let us go to our today's discussion. So if you will watch from first to last or till the end of this discussion, then you will be able to know what is your immunity. Okay, or we can say definition of immunity. Then secondly, what is about types of immunity. Then where and how do we defend against disease pathogens. Okay, then what is innate immunity, then your features of innate immunity, then factors influencing innate immunity. Okay, mechanism of innate immunity, then your antibacterial substances, then adaptive, what is adaptive immunity, then difference between innate and acquired or adaptive immunity. Okay, then difference between innate and acquired immunity, and then we will discuss about herd immunity, and with this our discussion will over. Okay, so let us discuss in detail, and this discussion will help you to attend a long question or a short answer type question in your examination. Okay, so now let us see. So the term immunity, it is derived from one Latin word, that is immunitas, means freedom from disease. Okay, and it is defined as resistance offered by the host against microorganisms or any foreign substances. So as we know that we are suffering by different types of disease for which the responsibilities goes to microorganisms or any foreign substances. Okay, so immunity can be broadly classified into 2 types. One is your innate immunity, that is present right from the birth. Okay, and another we obtained by acquired or that is called as adaptive immunity, that is acquired during the course of the life. Okay, by through applying or adopting different out or outward substances. Okay, so what is types of immunity? Let us see. So innate immunity is again divided into 2 types. One is non-specific, another is specific. Okay. So special, racial, individual. Okay. Then adaptive immunity is active versus passive. So again it is active is your natural and passive is your natural and artificial. Active is also we can acquire active adaptive immunity through natural way, through artificial way, and we can also obtain our passive immunity that is through natural way or artificial way. Okay. So, what is innate immunity then? Let us discuss. So, innate immunity is resistance to infection which an individual possesses by virtue of his genetic and constitutional makeup. Okay. And not affected by prior contact with microorganisms or immunization. Then it is of two types, non-specific as I told that it indicates a degree of resistance to infections in general, and specific means resistance to a particular pathogen is concerned. Okay. Then where and how do we defend against disease pathogens? So as till now we know that immunity is nothing but the ability to resist infection and disease, and many body cells and tissues are involved in the implementation of immunity, isn't it? Then innate non-specific defenses, that is we are born with this capability, means by birth we have this defense mechanism that is known as innate immunity. So it can involve the epithelium on the body surface or occur in connective tissue in the GI system, okay, and or may involve a cellular response, okay, then respond immediately to many different harmful agents and do not require a previous exposure to a foreign substance. These are the basic features of your innate or non-specific defenses. So you can make your own note from this PDF. Okay. So adaptive specific defenses is these components develop with time, means we can say it is one artificial immunity. So as we know that we have different types of lymphocytes like your B, T, okay, they are major players in the immune response, but other cells and participants in the innate system work cooperatively. Then it identifies, attacks and reinforces immunity to a specific pathogen. Okay. So these two categories of immune mechanisms work together in our body. All these two categories of immune mechanism work together. Then innate immunity, as I told, specific, racial, individual immunity. Okay, these are the types. So specific immunity is resistance to pathogens shown by all members of a particular species. For example, anthracis infects human beings but not chickens. This is specifies. Okay. Then racial immunities within a species, different races may show difference in susceptibility to infections. For example, we can say that genetic resistance, that is your plasmodium falciparum, that is your malaria resistance in Africa. Then individual immunity, that is resistant to infection, varies with different individuals of same race and species. For example, homozygous twins exhibit similar resistance susceptibility to leprosy and tuberculosis. Such correction is not seen in heterozygous twins. Okay. Then innate immunity is the inborn resistance against infections that an individual possesses right from the birth due to his genetic or constitutional makeup. Then features, what are the features of innate immunity? So it acts in minutes, then prior microbial exposure is not required, then diversity is limited, it is non-specific and no memory. Okay. Then what are the factors that influence innate immunity? So you can see here that major factor is age, then hormonal factor, then nutritional factor. Okay. So in foetus means small babies, okay, or newborn babies. So in fetus, immune system is immature. In old age, there is gradual waning of immune system. Means when you will be old, then your immune system will again reduce. So for example, polio infection, chickenpox, highly severe in adult than children. Then another is a hormonal. So what is that? It enhances susceptibility to infections such as diabetes mellitus, then hypothyroidism in adults, then adrenal dysfunction. Okay. Then another factor is nutrition. For example, if we will be malnutrition predisposed to bacterial infection, then both humoral and cell mediated immune responses are reduced in malnutrition. Okay. Then what are the mechanism behind the innate immunity? So if I told you that one is epithelial surface. So where epithelial surface is present, so you know that epithelial tissue is present in your skin. Okay. So it acts as a mechanical barrier to microorganisms and provide bacterial secretions. Skin has a greater role. Okay, so resident microflora of skin and mucous membrane surface help to prevent colonization by pathogens. And alteration of normal residence flora may lead to invasion by extraneous microbes and thus causing serious disease. For example, Clostridial enterocolitis, that following oral antibiotics. Okay, and second is your this is about your skin. Second is your respiratory tract. Okay, so this is respiratory, RESP, respiratory tract. So inhaled particles are arrested or particles are arrested in the nasal passage on the moist mucous membrane surface. Okay, then mucous membrane acts as a trapping mechanism. Hair like cilia propels the particles towards pharynx where it's swallowed or coughed out. Then cough reflex acts as a defense mechanism. Okay. Then next is your intestinal tract. Okay. Intestinal tract, that is mouth possesses saliva as we all know, and it has a inhibitory effect on many microorganisms, and some bacteria are destroyed by acidic pH of gastric juices. The normal bacterial flora of intestine exerts a protective colonization of pathogenic bacteria. Okay, that it happens in your intestinal tract or inside your intestinal tract. Then another is your conjunctive, that is tears contain lysosome which has antibacterial property. Means when we cry, tears comes, and these tears contain lysozymes. Okay, and this lysozyme has antibacterial property and it helps in flushing away bacteria and other dust particles also. Okay, so genitourinary tract, that is flushing action of urine eliminates bacteria from ureter. Okay, then another is your antibacterial substance, that is non-specific antibacterial substance present in the blood and tissue, and substance like propyridine, then complement lysozyme, then beta lysine, basic polypeptide, and interferon which have antiviral activity also, and complement system plays an important role in destruction of pathogenic microorganisms that invade blood and tissue. Okay, and there are some cellular factors also. What are these? So when infection cross the barrier of epithelial surface tissue, factor come into play for defense. The exudate inflammatory reaction occurs by accumulation of phagocytes at the site of infection, and deposition of fibrin, which entangles the organisms to act as a barrier to spread of infection. Okay. Then phagocytic cells ingest these organisms and destroy them. Then adaptive immunity, what is that? So this is inducible and develops slowly than the innate response. So this is specific kind of immunity and has memory, therefore providing long-term protection. Means the adaptive immunity gives of long-term protection, and this occurs with contact of foreign particles. So adaptive immunity is often subdivided into two major types depending upon on how the immunity was introduced. So first one is your naturally acquired immunity and artificially acquired immunity. So naturally acquired immunity occurs through contact with a disease causing agent when the contact was not deliberate, and artificially acquired immunity develops only through deliberate action such as vaccination. Okay. Then let us study the difference with a table. In left side innate immunity, in right side acquired or adaptive immunity, so that your concept will be more clear. Okay. So let us see. Innate immunity is your resistant to infection that an individual possesses since birth. Okay. In its opposite, acquired immunity is your resistance to infection that an individual acquires during his lifetime. Okay. Then second point is your immune response occurs in minutes. Then in the opposite, for acquired immunity, immune response occurs in days. So prior, third point for innate immunity is it is prior exposure to the antigen is not required, and for acquired immunity it develops following the antigenic exposure. Then fourth is diversity is limited and acts through a restricted set of reactions in case of innate immunity. But for acquired or adaptive immunity, more varied and specialized responses. Okay. And uh, next point is immunological memory responses are absent in case of innate immunity, and in case of acquired immunity, immunological memory responses are present and respond to microbial antigens that are not specific to some microbe, rather shared by many microbes called as microbes associated molecular pattern. Okay. And acquired immunity respond to specific microbial antigens. And in case of innate immunity, host cell receptors, that is pattern recognition receptors, are non-specific. For example, toll-like receptor, and host cell receptors are specific, that is T cell receptors and beta cell immunoglobulin receptors. Okay. So these are the differences. Now let us discuss in the last part of our video, that is what is herd immunity. So you all have perhaps learned or heard this word, that is herd immunity, during the case of COVID pandemic, isn't it? So herd immunity is defined as the overall immunity of a community or herd. Herd means here community. Okay. So towards a pathogen. Elements that contribute to create a strong herd immunity are, so what are the elements? That is occurrence of clinical and subclinical cases in the herd. Herd means community. Okay. Then ongoing immunization program. Then third is herd structure, that is type of population involved. Then fourth is your type of pathogen. Herd immunity may not be strong in a community against all the pathogens. Okay. So next is herd immunity develop following effective vaccination against some diseases like diphtheria and pertussis vaccine, then measles, mumps and rubella, that is MMR vaccine, then polio, For polio vaccination is oral polio vaccine. Then we have smallpox vaccine. Okay, these are the vaccines available for the different kinds of pathogens or diseases to create herd immunity. Okay, against a specific disease. Okay, so these were all for today's discussion or today's lecture, in which I hope you all are very clearly understand the terms of innate immunity, then adaptive immunity, what is herd immunity. Okay, so if possible, make your own notes from this video, from this, because in front of you your materials are there. Okay, so you will get every type of questions from these discussions. So if you have not watched my earlier videos, then please go to my playlist to watch any kind of content that are there in your syllabus. Okay, so perhaps your examination, that is your in some colleges your internal examination will be held in this month, in the last of this month. Okay, so try to learn unit 1, unit 2. So that is there in my playlist in my channel Environ World for Students by Dr. Sudha. So you can watch every content from there. I have also uploaded several sorry several question sets, means multiple choice question. Okay, you can watch that also, and previous year question also I have uploaded in my channel. So you just go to my channel and watch the playlist. uh, there you will get everything in this single channel. So I can say that this is the single channel with every solution for your AECC1 environment study and disaster management paper. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Again, before leaving this channel or this today's discussion, I will like to request you, those who have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and please give some motivation to me. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye. We will meet with a new video in with some new content. Till then, bye bye. Take care.